Hello everyone, it's Vivi and welcome back. In my previous video talking about the absence of Sly on PS Plus, I briefly mentioned Sucker Punch's statement regarding the fate of the Sly Cooper series. This time, I'd like to discuss the whole thing. Before I do that, let me just bring up part of their statement from their blog post from July 1st. As our games continue to grow in scale and complexity, they require the full attention of our studio. With our focus on our current project, we have no plans to revisit InFamous or Sly Cooper right now, and no other studio is currently working on projects related to those franchises either. Two things to gather from this. First and foremost, Sucker Punch completely shuts down Sly Cooper and InFamous rumors. Not just that, they outright state that no other studio is working on any of these IPs. As a reminder for you folks, these Sly rumors happened for almost a year. We're looking at August 2021. That is when Sly rumors started to appear, and with time, these rumors just full-on gained traction, biggest traction the series has ever witnessed. With Sly's upcoming 20th anniversary, fans naturally might have gotten their hopes up. That is, until Sucker Punch made their statement on July 1st. Long story short, what happened back in August, 4chan posts appeared on Reddit. Yes, the almighty 4chan, right? Those posts were taken down, and soon after, some folks jumped into the replies and felt it was time to add on to that 4chan rumor. Since that day, other so-called insiders heard from their sources that Sly Cooper was in the works. This has been going on Twitter especially. Lo and behold, nothing's in development confirmed Sucker Punch. These rumors had been going on for months. What's even more baffling, I've seen this image floating around. This whole paragraph summarizes to, haha, got you fooled, saying that those 4chan posts were fake. They were all made up. True or not, I mean no one's sure of the validity of such claims. The basic idea here, people who kept tweeting about Sly in the works just lost total credibility, at least from a personal point of view. On that same day, July 1st, when Sucker Punch made that blog post, the voice actor of Sly himself shared his sentiment. And while it is sad that there is no new Sly in the works, I breathe a sigh of relief that someone isn't rebooting the franchise without me today. Could you imagine a Sly game without having Kevin Miller voice Sly? See, that's the thing. He is the voice of Sly. It's just such an iconic voice. If you didn't know, that movie teaser we had in 2014 didn't feature the voice of Kevin Miller. It was Ian James Corlett. Miller later added, "I know we approach this differently and I want to respect those of us who just want more Sly. And I hope you can respect that I just want to be part of more Sly." Kevin Miller also went ahead and stated that both movie and TV show were cancelled. Whatever the case may be, whether he was approached and told it was cancelled or not, the movie being cancelled really isn't all that surprising. As for the TV show, it's always been unclear. Some of us, including myself, believed in the likeliness of the Sly TV series simply moving to PlayStation Productions, since it was originally outsourced to third party. That perhaps would have explained the lack of news surrounding the fate of the TV series. Alas, Sly remains dormant, it seems. Who knows what the future has in store? After all, Sucker Punch added, "These characters are very special and near and dear to our hearts, so while we'd never say never to reopening those doors down the road, for now there are no InFamous or Sly Cooper games in development." This is the part where perhaps some might be skeptical. Skeptical as in believing that what Sucker Punch said in their statement is a lie. What I think? Why would Sucker Punch even lie? I personally believe what they're saying. Here is the truth, that nothing Sly is in the works. I do not believe this is the case of a surprise factor, meaning bringing everyone's hopes down only to then surprise them unexpectedly. What realistically happened here? The so-called rumors fiasco gained way too much traction. Sucker Punch most likely believed it was time to shut it all down and not get people's hopes up. A couple of things to note as well. Sucker Punch wasn't even asked about Sly directly. They themselves decided to bring up Sly and confirm that nothing's in development. Not only that, communications leader at Sucker Punch went ahead and quoted that blog post. Here's an honest update on where things currently stand with Sly and InFamous, which hopefully puts some misleading rumors to bed. Looking at the replies on Twitter, we'd rather be honest and not watch people get misled. Another thing. If something Sly was in the works, Sucker Punch could have avoided the topic of Sly altogether. And no, I don't think they would ever confirm that Sly's in the works somewhere. NDAs and all. If they were to pick, I believe they'd rather shut down rumors more than anything. One thing that still baffles me as much as the next guy, Sly's mask during the Play Has No Limits ad. This ad, if you can recall, dates back to September 2021. Among all other references of active IPs, we had Sly's insignia. Sure, this could have been a mere reference or Easter egg, but the head scratcher here is the fact that Sly's a dormant IP, and to put a Sly reference among all other active IPs in that ad, that's where things get a little confusing. If anything, this mask could have meant that Sly was in the works, but then got canned. Whichever studio it was, they perhaps had trouble with it. This is probably early stages of development, if anything. Yes, I'm aware of the Sly Cooper Funko. I remember when pre-ordering this was impossible. It was sold out on GameStop. Luckily, I managed to find one driving all the way to a different city. Remember the Sly mascot suit from 2019's PlayStation Fiesta Bowl? Yeah. Out of any other suit out there, they wore Sly, along with Ratchet and Crash, both being active IPs, for example. We had Sly reference in Astrobot. We had Sly's avatar during the PS5 interface showcase. All these little references here and there could imply that Sly Cooper is at least in the back of Sony's mind. So much in fact, the Sly Cooper domain was updated back in March. Not saying it hints at anything, but updating the Sly domain could at least indicate that Sony doesn't want anyone else to use the name. Recall what Sucker Punch said at the end of their paragraph. We'd never say never to reopening those doors down the road. Although we don't have a Sly in development today, we could have one in the future. Not by Sucker Punch necessarily. It could be another studio, with Sucker Punch giving them feedback. Such was the case with Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, according to Sanzaru's Matt Kraemer. They would send builds to Sucker Punch, and then they would receive feedback. Although we don't have Sly in the works right now, I think we can at least appreciate the fact we got official statement from Sucker Punch. All these so-called rumors we had have all been put to rest. Lastly, communications manager at Sucker Punch did say that they're planning merchandise for Sly's 20th anniversary. Hey, that's at least something. I'm really curious to see what they got in store. And to wrap up, I love the Sly series. I love interacting with you all. Sly videos ain't stopping anytime soon. Thanks for being here with me, and thank you for listening. As always, a big thanks to my Patreon supporters as well as you viewers for always sticking around. I've been Vivi, and until next time.